Many a times, men get frustrated by the feminine trait. They never seem to get a hold of their constant uncertainty and behavioral patterns. As the popular saying goes, when you get to understand a lady, she then opens a new chapter, and as a result, men have given up on the quest to understand their women, and most relationships are broken because of this. Well, the truth is, it's possible to understand a feminine trait. Stay glued as I bring more insights on understanding women. Women are not liars. This, in my opinion, is the most controversial point to raise, since most men won't side with me on this one. But that's the truth. The masculine trait is to keep to one's word, whereas the feminine trait may not keep to her words as she says, but that is not lying. Let me explain this point. The feminine trait is driven by emotions and shifting moods in relationships rather than actual words and facts. When a woman says, "I won't go to the movies," or "I hate you," it's often a reflection of a transitory and short-lived experience rather than a well-considered and actual stance. This situation always leaves guys wondering, didn't she confess her love to me some months back? Or was I lied to? The truth is, she's not lying. She does love you. Her words are momentary, which are triggered by emotions, but not facts. Of course, there are times when she will speak in a masculine style, thus actually mean what she is saying, but more often and almost always, they speak in the feminine style, which is more emotional driven than facts. What the feminine says is the sound of a feeling and can be compared to a poetry rather than a clear-cut agenda for an action. In emotional moments, what she says she's going to do is an expression of what she feels like doing in the moment, and that can last for 5 minutes, and it could even change every 5 minutes. Yes, every 5 minutes. Whenever you get overwhelmed by a woman's actions and say to yourself, "But she said," you are forgetting that she has feminine essence. Her words are like clouds passing in the sky, well organized and coherent, yet unrecognizable moments later. You might ask your woman, "Do you want to go to the movies?" And she might reply, "Not really." Then you hug her and spin her around and say, "Let's go to the movies." And now she says, "Yeah, let's go." You might think she lied earlier on about not wanting to go. But the truth is, she's not talking about her desire to go or not to go to the movies, but she's talking about her feeling of the relationship now. So, you realize that her feeling about the relationship is what triggers her decision, when in fact, that's not what she means. When she's feeling good about the relationship, her responses will be different, and when she doesn't, her responses will differ too. Supposing you just slumped into the sofa and said fine, and went ahead to watch a movie alone, when she said no to wanting to go to the movies, you would be missing the whole point. She's not really saying she doesn't want to go to the movies, even though that's what she's saying. If you can bear witness to this, she will probably say to you, "So you won't take me to the movies, right?" When you decide to keep to yourself and watch the movie alone at home, after she said no earlier on. So this goes a long way to say that what she says is not exactly what she means. Just do something to make her feel good about the relationship, rather than just give up. For a man to say something that is not true is lying, but for a woman, the truth is a thin concept compared to the thickness of her feeling. Her truth is whatever she's feeling now. So, take advantage of this and make her complain less. Make her feel good about the relationship and you have less headache. But make her feel bad about the relationship and you get tons of complaints. And I bet no guy wants that, especially when she's a drama queen. Women are not liars, although they often seem that way to men. That is to say, it is advisable that a man takes ultimate responsibility for making his own decisions based on his deepest truth. Otherwise, If he bends his course of truth to compromise for his woman's current and changing expressions, he will probably end up blaming her. Praise her. Men grow by challenge. As a boy, you probably remember that your male friends will challenge you in order to inspire you. They will say stuff like, "I bet you can't do this or that," and this kind of challenges you to be your best. On the contrary, the feminine counterpart thrives on support and praise. Telling her stuff like, "I love the shape of your body," will be a greater incentive for her to exercise regularly rather than telling her, "I hope you don't gain any more weight." Praise always magnifies the quality of your woman. Saying, "You are so beautiful when you smile," is more convenient than "You look so ugly when you frown," although they both depict the desire for her to smile. Praise is a difficult practice for men to learn, but you must learn to praise those qualities you feel are not yet praiseworthy so she can work on them. So, the hack is, praise any quality you want changed rather than rebuking it, because that will only yield problems. They can be very difficult to praise sometimes. For instance, when you say you are looking beautiful, they will say you are lying. You are simply saying it because she is your woman, and this is very frustrating sometimes. But that's the feminine trait. They will complain if you don't and still question the authenticity of your praises even when you do. Honestly, they do like it, so that shouldn't discourage you. You can't analyze a woman. The feminine mood is like a weather pattern. They are constantly changing. It can be severe or mild, and yet has no source to be traced from. As a man, you would probably want to find the solutions to your problems. That is the surest way to deal with a problem by a man's perspective, and we tend to use this approach in dealing with the problems of the woman. When a woman is having an emotional breakdown, your first instinct is to find the cause, and you begin by asking her questions like, "What's wrong? Did I do something that hurt you?" This is because you are under the illusion that when you find the cause to her moodiness, the solution will follow. It doesn't work that way. You are probably going to make things worse with that approach. The amazing truth is, most emotional breakdown of women come from feeling unloved. So don't stand back and analyze her like a doctor diagnosing a patient or a lawyer questioning the accused. It's very rare that your analysis will relieve her of her moodiness, but in most cases, your analysis and attempt to fix a problem will just piss her off. Ask your woman if she would rather you analyze her or show her some love during emotional breakdowns. You will understand the point I'm making. The love that motivated you to ask questions should be channeled into actions like hugging, looking into her eyes and reassuring her, rather than being a therapist who analyzes a client during a session. The next time your woman is in a bad mood, assume she's not feeling loved. Yes, just assume, and consider her as a flower that needs watering rather than an engine that needs carburetor adjustments. Assume she wants love from you in a deep, strong and sensitive way. If you find yourself asking your woman questions about her mood, you are probably going down the wrong road. First off, show her some love. Then and only then, after the connection of love has been established, then you finally find out what remains to be talked about. Don't force the feminine to make decisions. A man abandons his responsibility by expecting his woman to make her own decisions and be accountable for the outcome. This responsibility is a withholding masculine gift. It is good for women to sometimes animate their masculine capacity in making decisions and stick to it. But when a man shirks his responsibility to provide masculine clarity and decisiveness in decision making, she becomes her own man. The law of magnetism states that like poles repel and unlike poles attract. This notion is very applicable in relationships as well. The feminine pole gets attracted to the masculine pole. When she becomes her own man through decision making, the force of masculine to feminine polarity reduces. As a result, it becomes a masculine to masculine polarity. When this masculine to feminine polarity disappears, the intimacy and attraction in the relationship disappears as well, and most relationships have landed on rocks because of this. As a man, you need to play the masculine pole if you want a woman to be feminine. A man's ability to offer his perspective on decision making is one way of maintaining his masculine polarity. If she asks you which dress you think will look nice on her, decide for her instead of giving her vague answers like whatever you choose to wear is fine by me, or they are both nice. If you refuse to offer your masculine gift by saying stuff like I don't care, it's up to you, then she will learn to depend on her own masculine capacity rather than yours. It is for a fact that women ask for men's opinion and yet do not act on it. I remember a scenario where a friend asked for my opinion on an issue and yet decided not to act on it. I told her, why ask for my opinion when you won't even consider it? But the truth is, tell her what you would do and why, even if you think she should make her own decisions or she wouldn't even consider your opinion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.